We're here. I think we're here. I'm looking at the wrong monitor.
We're here. We're definitely here, mate. We've got
better.
a monitor up there. Jeez, we've opened this up a little bit now, haven't we? Goodness me.
How good does it look?
Looks good. Looks really good. You look good.
Thank you. You look good.
Thank you. I feel good. This looks good. This feels good. The mics are gone. We have lapels. It's quite
fancy,
professional and fancy. We've got our coffee table in front of us. We've got the screen up behind us, which is showing pictures of our patrons.
So bloody good. Thank you so much to everybody that signed up to our Patreon so far. So I think our very, very first Patreon was
Star Saber. Star Saber. So we need a standing ovation for Star Saber because our very first Star Saber. We love you. Thank you so much. Just sensational stuff. We're very excited. I have my Patreon app right here, my friend, and I am going to call them out because the very first thing that we should do here at Game on Australia is we should say hello and give thanks to the great people who really dig deep, dig into their pocket to support Game on Australia. So as we mentioned, Star Saber, welcome aboard. Star Saber is in the middle tier, so thank you so much. We really appreciate that. You're obviously into the draw for the Elite Trainer box. And I did see Star Saber in the Discord and in Twitch last week saying, oh boy, do I want that Elite Trainer box.
She did. I think she was very disappointed when other people started signing up. I mean, we were very, very happy.
Very happy, very excited, because that's what we want. We want to create an incredible, huge community and do amazing things. And your pledges certainly help with that. Drifter and Firestorm at a beginner's level, we appreciate that. Thank you so much, guys. Welcome aboard. And White Monkey in the top tier.
Ooh.
Yes, the expert level, which means he is going to get himself a cheeky bit of exclusive merch, Goa merch, at some point as well. That design's coming through from our good friend and member of the community, Dune Hagar, who has done a lot of designs for us. So looking forward to that. It's an absolute ripper. It's going to pop. And also tonight, so both Simi and Gamma are in.
They are definitely, and they were here while I was playing the game, while we were I was warming up the crowd, you know, like you get the pre-show.
Yes, of course, you did a pre-show. That's amazing. Yeah.
That's it. So I just played. I came this close to finishing Super Mario World in that time.
Did you really?
I was literally in Bowser's Castle when you banged on the door.
You're joking?
Yeah.
Super Mario World?
Yeah, because you go through the Star Road and you come out and it's nice and quick.
Right. Okay. All right. So here we are. Welcome to this. It's International Women's Day.
It is.
As well. So hello to all of the legendary women who follow and check out Game on Australia and are staying with us, part of our community as well. We appreciate it. We love you.
I think there's one woman that I would like to point out, and that's Skittles. So
Skittles.
She has
Mama.
Shown up.
Is Skittles here?
Skittles is in our chat. She's been in our Discord today as well.
Skittles? Mom! Where have you been? Oh, Ma, I miss you so much, Mum. So yes, very good.
It's amazing.
It's good to see you, Mum. What are we catching up with tonight? So we're obviously going to play. We're going to play a bit of Metroid Prime.
Metroid Prime Remastered. I picked it up over the weekend. I've been playing it.
Yep.
And so we'll get you to run through a bit of it later on for the bloody good game of the week, thanks to Aussie Broadband.
Can I just say, I am just champing at the bit. I am champing at the bit to dive into this game. I really am. Because for me, Metroid Prime was my, oh my God, where has Metroid been my entire life game? Of course, I've played Metroid over the years and that's great, it was fun, but Metroid Prime was just it was an absolute masterpiece. It was, you know, if you blew through it, it was 18 hours. If you took your time, it was close to 30, which was a monster game. Grumpy Goron, read my Prime review over on Game on Australia. There you go. Yes, Grumpy. And also Simi, 58 months subscribing to us here on Twitch as well. So
amazing.
Patreon and also here on Twitch. 58 months.
That's a lot.
Bruh.
I think our second longest sub, only beaten out by Styx, who I think hit 60 months the other last week or something.
Yeah. So yes, we'll do that a little bit later on this stream.
We will, thanks to Aussie Broadband for our bloody good game of the week there. But we're going to quickly touch on the Game Expo. So that's going to happen this weekend in Melbourne, the 11th and 12th of March, just there. And we don't want to talk about it too much because we did talk about it a fair bit last week, and we spoke
Well,
a
we
little bit.
potted it last week, didn't we?
Yeah, and I must admit, I've gone away and I've thought about it, because I've spent a lot of this week trying to find info on what's happening there, and I've come to the conclusion that it has been marketed completely wrong.
Right.
Or if it hasn't, if they never intended it to be this and they haven't marketed it this way, they also haven't done anything to set people right.
Is this because you're actually, like me, starting to see now that it's the 8th of March.
We're 3 days away from this.
3 days,
yeah.
and we're finally starting to see an unveiling of what it is that's actually going to be there. Because that was our gripe last week.
Yeah.
Our gripe last week was, guys, this is great, you've been banging on about it for ages, but it's info coming soon. It's all a big secret. Oh, there will be a reveal very soon. And now we're starting to see the trickle, and I think I know where you're coming from.
Because to me, it was kind of well, at least the expectations at the beginning were that they were going to have game devs there and they were going to show off some newer games and Australian games and stuff like that. But really, and I guess we probably shouldn't have been surprised because the guys that do BAM, who run incredible fighting game tournaments, are heavily involved in this. And if you have a look, a lot of the tournaments have been up on their website for a long time. But we were kind of expecting some things and announcements around, well, I was, about who was going to be there, what devs were going to be there, who was going to be presenting things. And
Well, it presented very much like the Game Expo, and the way that it was being spoken about. And I suppose maybe we took a little bit of license. Maybe us as the audience took a little bit of license in terms of...
But they also didn't correct us.
I know, granted, right, but we took a bit of license in terms of whenever you hear Game and Expo together, you think PAX, right?
Yeah.
You think like video game devs are going to be there, independent devs, the big ones, your AAAs. There's going to be tabletop, and there's going to be all that sort of stuff, and merch and so on and so forth. So, I mean, I suppose we sort of took license and assumed, but yeah, didn't really lead us down the garden path of no, this is actually what it is.
Yeah, and in fairness, it looks like it's going to be a really amazing weekend of tournaments. There are so many games being played this weekend, and I'm kind of excited to see it, but it is definitely not what I think everybody thought it was.
Yeah, so it's a tournament expo, basically. Yeah. But if it's, if BAM has got and the people behind BAM have got their hand in it, then it is going to be good. And keep an eye on GameOnOz.com because a lot of our team are going to be heading to Game Expo for it as well.
Exactly. So yeah, I think if understanding what it is, it's going to be a great weekend of competition. So if you're in Melbourne, definitely get down and have a look at it.
Hungy.
Cool. So this one came up, and I've realised that I haven't zoomed in on this, so I don't even know if I can now. But so basically, there was a story that popped up on my Twitter feed this week. So you've heard of Untitled Goose Game, right?
I have. House.
Yeah, Melbourne devs right there. It exploded, and it was just such a simple game.
Not only did it explode, but it topped the UK charts for about 5 weeks.
Yeah.
That's huge.
It was fun being a bit of a mongrel.
It's a fucking goose walking around being a goose.
Yeah. But an interesting story came out from the devs on Twitter this week where they said that they didn't get it on Apple Arcade because it got refused the first time because the guy assessing it couldn't work out how to skip the opening cutscene.
Right.
That was the reason that they gave the first time for rejecting it.
That hurts me in my soul.
It really does, because any gamer worth their salt would just sit there mashing the keyboard until they found the right button to skip.
Right, okay.
And it turns out you hit the space bar, which is not exactly low on the list of buttons that I would press to try and skip a cutscene.
No, but I mean, let's be completely honest with you. The whole we couldn't work out how to skip a cutscene. What are you doing? You hit a few buttons, but there's the standard buttons that you go for, right? Like you mentioned, the space bar or the escape bar. Or, I don't know if it's like control shift or something like that. But there's a good 2 or 3 buttons that generally this is what's going to allow me to skip this cutscene. So, I mean, let's put a big line through Apple to begin with there. But you were mentioning to me that they came around again. They gave them another go.
That's it. So House submitted the game again, and it got rejected again. The story I was reading didn't mention the reason for the second time, but they've basically just gone, you know what? We're going to get this on Steam. We're going to get this on consoles. We're going to get this everywhere else. We don't need Apple Arcade, and just went, screw you guys. We're going to take our bat and ball and go to other places.
I don't have the figures, and there'd be a bit of sort of digging to go and have a bit of a look. Hey, Charlie Golf. But it would be interesting to see just how much of an impact Apple Arcade has on a title. Right now, the other thing, Apple. The interesting thing about Apple is that Apple Arcade, they've got so many of their own sort of games, their own first-party IPs.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe that was a hand in it. It just sounded like maybe they got the wrong person on the wrong day. And I would also love to know if this was early on in the piece before House took off, because surely, like if House has exploded and they're coming to you and going, hey, we want to put this game on your platform, you're putting it on your platform. It's a massive game.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. People know it shouldn't not be on your platform. So it'd be interesting to know if they actually approached Apple before the game took off or if it was afterwards.
So it is an interesting one, because I think that like this game did kind of, it hit and everybody was loving it. Like every streamer and his dog were playing this game on Twitch, and it was just so much fun. And I don't get why, if you even were paying a modicum of attention to what was going on, that you would say no to this. Especially if it was something so blatantly simple. And the resubmission went, press spacebar to skip the cutscene, and then it still got rejected anyway. It was just like...
I suppose we'll never know, because they're too busy battling Epic Games and Fortnite in court.
Oh yeah.
At the moment. So
still.
And I have it on good information, by the way. As a good friend of mine has a friend of his. I hate those stories that happen to a friend of mine. But has a friend of his who is working on the case.
Oh wow.
For Apple versus Epic, like as just mentioned.
Okay,
just some things going. Oh, it's just another world straitjacket.
I know it is, but like this is making big headlines, and Epic were prepared for that, because they had that whole 1984 freaking video done up. Well, I forget. It wasn't 1980, but some like.
Yeah. It was Epic, and it was Fortnite, and yes, very much where he runs into the cinema, and he ditches the axe at the screen, and
and it's just like you go, no, because for those that aren't aware of what was happening or have forgotten, because it was a long time ago that this kicked off. Basically, Epic and Fortnite were pissed off that Apple would take a 30% cut of anything sold through the App Store on the iPhone. And Google is the same. It's not different. The only
that's 30% is your industry standard. Yeah. Steam takes 30%. Like it's your industry standard.
Yeah. So this for Epic, this was not about making things better for gamers, which is what they were purporting it to do. This is all about them wanting to have that 30% back in their pocket.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's going to be another interesting thing to see how that comes along.
The BAFTA nominations. Are we doing BAFTA nominations or are we doing Mario Kart first?
I am not prepared for BAFTA. I have no idea. So
really, all we care about is best game, right?
Okay, well,
don't get me wrong. There's if you go down the list here, so you can't see this on Twitch right now, but we've got another screen here, and we're just sort of flicking through things as we speak. Oh, there you go. Okay, we can see the list. So if we go down, animation. These are all wonderful things: animation, artistic achievement, audio achievement. Let's keep going. There's best game, British game, debut game, evolving game, family, game design, game beyond entertainment, multiplayer, music. Keep going. Narrative, original property. This is just all the usual sort of a lot of things that if it was broadcast on television would be in the ads. Yeah. Right. The one that we want to know is we want to know game design, and we want to know best game, and I probably at a stretch want to know multiplayer.
All right. Well, let's have a look at best game. See what's been nominated to begin with. Let's go. Cult of the Lamb has been nominated.
Cult of the Lamb has been nominated.
Not surprised there.
That is fantastic. Can we just say congratulations to Cult of the Lamb?
Massive monster. Well done. So good.
Australian studio.
Yep.
They were at PAX last year. They are absolutely killing it.
Yeah, I went to a panel with one of the devs from Massive Monster on there. It was all because the Cult of the Lamb was published by Devolver. So the panel was how to pitch to Devolver.
Yeah,
and listening to them, not just them, but Team Wibby, who made a game called Phantom Abyss.
Yep.
They were there as well. And
This is 100% a Devolver game, though, isn't it?
Oh, it
I
is.
mean,
It
like
is.
this
It
is
really
absolutely
is.
knowing Devolver and Devolver's love of this particular sort of aesthetic. This is 100% a Devolver game.
I'm also not sure if this is a winner or not. Definitely nominated. Hang on. Let me have a look.
Oh, are you getting up and close to the screen?
Oh, here we go. It does actually tell us. So, Cult of the Lamb, Elden Ring, God of War, Ragnarok, Marvel Snap, Stray, and Vampire Survivor.
Okay, so all pretty much like
Yeah.
what Vampire Survivor?
Yeah, so that was kind of an bullet hell sort of a game, but it went mad on streams for a while. It was a pretty popular little indie type game. Yeah.
I've got to have a look at this game. Did you say Bullet Hell?
Yeah, it's kind of bullet hell. So it's like a top-down.
I'm frothing Bullet Hells at
Yeah.
the moment.
Well, this one, like, it's kind of a little bit roguelite as well. So you go through and you get upgrades and you've got different weapons that do things and will circle around you and kill. I'm not sure if you're the vampire and you're trying to survive. If you're trying to survive the vampires, I'm not 100% on that. But yeah, it does look pretty cool, pretty fun.
Right. So that was, what was that?
That was best game.
Best game. Okay, let's go to...
best game and...
So we're going down... Let's go to game design. I wonder if there's studios or games that get nominated.
Cult of the Lamb again.
Cult of the Lamb, yeah.
Elden Ring, God of War, Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Tunic. I'm happy to see Tunic in there.
Oh, Tunic!
Yeah.
Huh.
And Vampire Survivors again.
Yeah, okay, Tunic. Tunic's an interesting one.
I wonder if Vampire Survivor is a British game. I just got to check what's been nominated for Best British Game, because if it's in there...
Tunic is a really interesting choice. I find Tunic hard to swallow. Tunic was good. Don't get me wrong, it was good. I enjoyed it. But I still don't feel like Tunic was at the level of the others that are nominated in that list.
Oh, it was better than Stray.
Yeah, but Stray... Okay, so this is the thing, right? Stray was unique and it blew through the community, right? I don't think Tunic made as much of an impact.
Oh,
I think Tunic was around for a bit,
yeah.
but I don't think it made as much of an impact.
I will give you that, but I think when you're talking about what's the better game, I will 100% go into bat for Tunic. And I am with you as well, because it got to a point there where I got fed up with the game. Like I got to the final boss fight and I didn't finish it.
Yeah, okay. Really?
Yeah.
You got all the way to the final boss fight.
Yeah, because like I got through and it had a second phase, and then I went, oh my god, I just spent like every little consumable that I had getting it to there.
Can I just say, second phases in bosses give me the shits. I'm not a fan of the second phase in a boss. Like, maybe give me an extra hard mode, like Whiz Pig on Nintendo 64 in Diddy Kong Racing, right? You knocked him over the first time, and then then there was a hard mode that was revealed, and you had to take him on in a hard mode. Yeah. It wasn't a second coming. I'm just not a second phase kind of guy. Yeah. Gives me the shits. I've done me work. Now piss off and roll me the credits.
Yeah. So I was curious because Vampire Survivors was popping up a little bit in the BAFTA Awards, and BAFTA is the British arts and film, television, something or other. So it's all UK stuff. And yes, Vampire Survivors was nominated in the Best British Game category.
Right.
So that's probably why it's showing up a fair bit more.
Are you from London?
Yeah. No, mate. I don't know any other English accents. Sorry.
That's it.
They got so many.
That's it, really.
And we were looking for. Let's have a look at what multiplayer games we got.
This is Cockney. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, okay. So of course Call of Duty's in there.
Yep. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, FIFA 23, which, given this is BAFTA, that's to be expected.
100%. Yeah.
Hang on.
What? What's that? What else?
I need to double check that I've clicked on multiplayer.
Yeah, I've clicked on multiplayer.
Because the third game in multiplayer is Elden Ring.
Well, it does have multiplayer.
It does, but I wouldn't be classing that in the same category as all these, though.
But you know what?
This is probably nominated purely for that guy that was going around like naked in the game and like beating up bosses.
No, but you know what? I don't mind it. I don't mind it because it's multiplayer, but it's with a difference. Like it and it works. Like to be able to call another player from another realm into your realm to help you, or to be able to take on another player in another realm, like and challenge them. I think, yes, we know the game for its solo player. Absolutely 100% know the game for its solo player. Whereas Call of Duty's, you know, they've got these days the campaigns are just an afterthought. Like it's the multiplayer that people are grabbing them for because that's the moneymaker for the company. But I admire the wherewithal to put Elden Ring in there because I actually think Elden Ring does multiplayer in its own universe incredibly well.
Well, the other ones that rounded that out were Overwatch 2, Splatoon 3, and Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. So I'm happy to see Shredder's Revenge.
Shredder's Revenge is good.
It is.
I think that's great. I think it's a great game. I think it's great to see all the players on the screen at one time.
I think it's great to see a co-op game.
Yeah.
Like, I know Elden Ring is kind of co-op with the way the multiplayer works, but I'm happy to see like a purely co-op game.
Everyone on the screen, sitting down on the couch. I mean, like that's our classic generation multiplayer, isn't it?
Hell yeah. Very much is.
Now, mate, can we move on to this? I don't know much about this story. You've brought this story today, and it fascinates me in the sense that I think by now we all know that if you're going to play a video game on your mobile phone, chances are they've put sticky shit into the game to try and get your money. Mm-hmm. But when you've got a story that's saying Mario Kart and gambling, that's when I start to get a little bit...
Yeah. So
no.
I should point out, like, this came to my attention not because of Mario Kart, but it was sort of, I think it started as more a general study into how mobile games in particular are made to separate fools from their money, pretty much. Mm-hmm. And the Mario Kart On Tour was the one they used as an example. So going through it, there are things like... they highlighted something that doesn't immediately seem to be bad. It's not good, but it's not inherently bad, you would think, in that you play against bots. You don't play against other people. It's all done against bots.
Yeah, so we know that.
But what they pointed to was the way the load-in screen works. So you go in to get a game, and it kind of shuffles and searches like you're looking for people. And then it will load up and show the people that have the good stuff, which you have to basically spend money on to get. Because certain tracks will have certain races that will be better on them, but you'll have to unlock them. And
right, okay.
And then it got very, very shifty. And I think anybody that's played Mario Kart On Tour would have worked that out by now. But it's just, it annoys me how mobile games have become that. Like, and to have a property like Mario Kart in it, especially considering...
that hurts because Nintendo's such a family IP. So, and in particular Mario Kart. Like when you think family getting around the TV to play some video games, party games, Mario Kart comes to mind, right? And it has for generations. So that hurts in that sense. Now forgive me because I haven't played much of Mario Kart On Tour.
I've played it like 3 races and went, this is shit, and stopped playing it.
So are the things that they're showing you that other players have, are they...
No, they're not what other players have. They're what the bots in the game have. So they've programmed the
they're
bots.
Selling you stuff, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Are they cosmetic items or are they items to make your carts, like to change your stats?
They're items to get better carts and better characters, and there will be one character in particular that will be the best at that course.
And is the only way to get them to buy them? Pretty much. Can you grind them?
No, well, sort of, but there's 2 in-game currencies. I forget what the most premium one is, the one where you can actually spend real dollars to get, but you can grind and get coins, but there is like a daily cap on how many coins you can get. Which
Yes, I do know that. I did play enough of it to know that, which I felt was interesting.
that very much limits how much you can actually grind.
Yep.
And I think I was trying to remember the figures from the game, but yeah, well, from the story. But it is ridiculous amounts of coins that you would have to grind to get to.
Yeah, okay. So the basic premise is if you want to get better at this game and you want to do it fast, and by the way, here's a little carrot. See how that guy beat you? It's because he's got all this epic shit. Oh, he's a bot. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're going to have to buy.
Exactly.
It's a hard one, isn't it? Because is that gambling though? Like, is it loot boxes that you're buying?
Loot boxes
Okay, so it is gambling.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so I have nothing here other than fuck you, Nintendo.
The only good thing about it is they tell you the odds of winning the good stuff, and it's like 0.001%.
Which is shit.
It is.
Which is shit. Like,
but at least you know how shit it is.
I know, but that's still shit. It's still shit that those are the odds. Is that, by the way, before I do really commit to fuck you, Nintendo, is it a Nintendo game, or have Nintendo licensed their IP to a third party who's made the game?
That I don't know.
I need to find out who made Mario Kart On Tour. Mario Kart On Tour creator. Let's have a look. Developed by Nintendo EPD and published by Nintendo for iOS and Android. Okay, so it's Nintendo. Okay,
Yeah.
I commit. Fuck you, Nintendo.
Yeah.
Anyway, looking forward to playing Metroid Prime remastered tonight.
So
we are living contradictions, aren't we?
We really are.
I wonder how much money it made. I want to know how much money it made. Mario Kart On Tour revenue 2021. Let's have a look. Releasing Mario Kart Tour surpassing 200 million downloads and 200 million for revenue. 200 million. It surpassed $200 million for revenue in April 2021.
Not surprised.
Wow. That's a lot of money. Mario Kart Tour approaching $300 million in revenue by the 6th of September 2022. Far out, mate. That's mental.
Really
That's
is.
absolutely mental.
White Monkey, thank you so much for that Twitch sub as well. Subbing with Twitch Prime there. So
Mate.
did you know that
Monkey.
if you've got Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch Prime subscription?
Yes, I do know that. And I appreciate that, and we would love them. Send them over. Hey, just quickly, I did, by the way, put on our Patreon tonight. I sent a message out to our dear friends saying hello, and if you have any questions, we are more than happy to answer questions for our patrons.
Ooh.
All right, now White Monkey did drop a question in.
Ooh.
And he said, what unannounced game are you hoping to be announced soon? I guess a specific original IP is hard to hope for, so is there a sequel or is there a remake, etc., etc.?
I'm not sure this one counts because it has been announced, but we haven't heard from it for a long time.
Okay.
And that's Metroid Prime 4.
Yes, okay, yeah.
Because we know it's, well, we hope it's still coming. They haven't said it's not, but it did get to a point where they weren't happy with development. They basically scrapped everything and went back to the drawing board. So I would be happy to see that, but that one has been announced. If we're talking older, like I think you'd probably have to go with older franchises because there's no way that you could try and predict.
If we're talking remakes, remasters, sequels, yes, and I think you've got to go back a ways as well.
I have one, and I love this game, and I really kept hoping it would get a sequel or at least a spiritual successor, and that's Star Wars Republic Commando. Did you ever play that?
No, can you bring it up?
Yeah.
Can we have a look?
So it was a...
With your new fandangled wireless keyboard there.
Let's have a look. But I absolutely loved the game. It was a squad shooter where you took control of a squad of clone commandos, and it had 3 campaigns in it, and it ended on a bit of a cliffhanger. and it got sorted a little bit in the books, but never got really a satisfactory conclusion. But it was such a fun game, and I would love to see a sequel to it or a spiritual successor. So it has had some remakes and remasters over the years. I'm hoping. I'm just going to skip ahead in the video a bit so you can see some gameplay. But I had a ball playing this as a kid. I played it on PC, but it got released on Xbox as well at the time. I'm not sure if PlayStation got it.
When was it released?
Oh, I want to say 2006.
Because this has got like early Halo vibes. It's got GoldenEye vibes. Like it's first-person shooter for that era, isn't it?
Yeah, and where it differed from other games was you had to use your squad. So if you're watching on twitch.tv/GameOnOz right now, you would have seen as a squad commander, you can send your squad to go do certain things. In this case, it was hacking a door.
Yep.
Or you can choose to breach a door as well. So the commandos take up positions at either side. The door blows open and they throw a grenade in, and then you go in and kill everything. And it's just, it was such a very well done game and the way it implemented squad stuff.
Oh, look at the splatter.
Yeah. And then the wiper comes across the visor. And just this is completely off topic, but I was very excited because I saw on Twitter today that one of the characters from this game, Scorch, is going to be in the Bad Batch on tonight's episode.
Okay.
So they're a little bit different in the characters, but it was a clone commando called Scorch that was going to be in the show.
Just on that, have we got a fresh Mandalorian tonight?
I think we do.
Yeah, Wednesday night?
Second episode of that tonight.
Unreal.
Yeah.
So, hello DJ Drifter. White Monkeys, so GTA 6 cops a mention, right, in our Twitch chat right now. And yes, I think we're all holding out for GTA 6. I think that's one of those where, like, anybody, anywhere tossing this question around, like, GTA 6 is an easy one to land on. It's almost such an easy one to land on that it's a don't even worry about mentioning it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that, we all know that we want Grand Theft Auto 6. I just don't know if it'll ever come because they're just making too much money out of Grand Theft Auto 5.
But it's been announced, hasn't it?
No,
or at least
has it? We always get a. It's been announced, and then you go and read the story, and it's like, it's always a bit of a red herring. You know what I mean? Like, it's been announced, but it hasn't officially been announced. Or Rockstar's saying they're working on it. Sure, I'm sure they've been working on it for years, right? But anyway, we'll see. There's a... God, I haven't even thought about this game for ages, but it does pop up in the back of my mind. A Nintendo Entertainment System game that I played to within an inch of its life so long ago. And there's so many that I could choose from, but it's called Wizards and Warriors 3. So if you could do me a favour, and if there's anybody in chat who's old enough to remember Wizards and Warriors 3, I don't know what it was about this game, man. I was just enthralled. I think it was because there were just so many different things in this game to go and explore and discover. Yeah, there you go. Visions of power. Kuros, visions of power. And you were the knight, you were the mage, you were the thief. I just fell in love with it. We would go to the video store and I would always ask to be able to get this game. There were just so many different elements to it. So many different things to go and find, so many different things to... It was probably one of the very first early examples of a game for me where I had build-up. You know what I mean? Like you had build-up through the game where it wasn't just you started the level and then you finished the level, and then you started the level and you finished the level, you started the level, finished the level. The game was just was very much an open world, in a sense, kind of game, even though what you're seeing on the screen right now is 2D side-scroller to a degree. But the way that they opened the world up is that they built it up right? So it's like platformer, side scroller. It's a bit Castlevania. It's different
quietly,
powers.
Watching this reminds me a lot of Zelda 2.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So it's got that sense. It's got that style. Zelda 2 was very much of this kind of style of game. A lot of these games from this generation were. But yeah, there was just something about this game. Even just watching it on the screen right now gives me the warm fuzzies. I just felt like so much at the time to explore. Hit and run, Simpsons Hit and Run, White Monkey, yes.
And Croc as well.
Yeah, Croc.
Do you remember, like,
I do remember Croc.
There was that early days of the PlayStation where they had, like, Gex, the gecko.
Yes,
and
I do.
Croc, and that's when Spyro was first coming out.
Mate, if it was an
as well.
animal, it was a game on PlayStation.
Back when people thought they had to have a mascot to sell consoles.
Absolutely.
And now, really, only Nintendo's the one that's got a mascot.
Yeah, so appreciate the question, White Monkey. And to our other Patreons, hey, you get the opportunity to ask us questions and get yourself and your question featured on the podcast in the Go Weekly Show on twitch.tv/GameOnOz.
So good.
There's White Monkey right now on the screen behind us. You little ripper. Let's see, it is 7:30. We've been banging on for what, half an hour or so?
I think so. I think it might be time to play a game.
Should we play some games?
I think so.
Let's play some games.
Before we jump into Metroid Prime,
Yep.
I do want to ask you, so you were talking about playing this. You played this on the GameCube?
I played it on the GameCube.
'Cause-
I remember, thank you, White Monkey, appreciate that. Keep up the top work, gents, he said. Metroid Prime, I got it the day that it came out. I remember going to EB Games, I had it on pre-order. And me and my mate Eric Breeden, a good friend of mine, we were both Nintendo tragics, and we both got the game, and we both smashed the game and played the game, and every day we would spend all of our lunchtime and recess talking about the game, and there was just so much to it. There was so much to explore. There was obviously the build-up through the game of progressively upgrading Samus's suit and all of that sort of stuff, and the puzzles and the way that they use Samus's different powers to progress through levels. Just a very well-built game, deserving of the 10 out of 10s that it got throughout those years.
I must admit, I didn't play this on the GameCube when I got it. The only bit that I played was, do you remember when the GameCube came out and it had the demo discs?
Yes, I do.
In the shop. And they were like those time-limited ones.
Yep.
I must have played through that intro mission on that space station like 100 times.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And that's just how I played it. And I must admit, going back, because I played almost 2 hours of this the other night, and I had so much fun with it. But I also think for me, my tastes in games have matured. Like, I can see how younger me wouldn't have liked all the scanning that you had to do in this. To me, I would have gone, you've given me a gun, I want to shoot things, let me shoot things.
But it made sense at the time.
Yeah.
Like it did, honestly. And I wasn't ever a huge fan. Like I was saying, it was Metroid Prime that turned me into a fan of Metroid games. You know, not the other way around, where I was, a Metroid fan for years, and oh god, a new Metroid Prime game's come out. I've got to play this game, new Metroid game. This turned me into a fan of the series.
Awesome.
Yeah. Can we dive in?
Yeah, let's
All
jump
right,
in.
so we're up on the screen. We're going to dive on in. Straight Jacket Jai.
Yeah, because Nintendo won't let you have that extra character in your
Gutted.
games. I know.
Absolutely gutted. So if you're watching this right now on twitch.tv/GameOnOz, by all means, feel free to commentate, feel free to ask questions, all of that sort of stuff. See all of this, all of the opening sequence that we're watching right now. This is just bringing back so many memories, because you got to understand, so this was early GameCube. GameCube is the system that came out right after the Nintendo 64. And
2001 or 2002?
Yeah, I honestly, off the top of my head, couldn't tell you, but it was around that ilk. It had to have been one of those years, because like I said, me and my mate Eric were still at school. And the graphics that you're seeing on the screen right now were a huge jump from Nintendo 64. Nintendo 64 was so full of polygons, as we all know. But yet Nintendo 64 was such a huge jump from the SNES, right?
Oh, yes.
To see Mario in Super Mario 64 running around in 3D was mind-blowing. But then to come across, get the GameCube. The other thing as well was the GameCube was the first time that Nintendo ever adopted discs. And
So all of a sudden, audio fidelity went right up.
everything shot through the roof. So we're going to play. So you've already sort of kicked into gear. Completion time's 11%. I'll kick it off from the Talon Overworld. I'll kick it off from this save slot.
All right.
We'll go from there.
Feel free, you can put the headphones on, because one of the things I was very impressed about when I was playing was the music. The music was just so good. It's loading. That's just getting practice in right now.
Getting practice in, guys.
Oh, and the twin stick controls for the remaster are so good.
Yeah, because I did pull out my GameCube. Oh god, it was going back a ways because I've still got my original trilogy. And I was using the C stick because on the GameCube controls it's a C stick, not the C buttons. And it didn't feel very good. Like it actually honestly didn't feel very good. Already can see the difference in the graphics.
It is a very beautiful game. For being a Switch game,
Yep.
it's very, very good looking.
And what I'll be looking for here is how does the Nintendo Switch treat sort of the frame rate? Is it laggy? Can it keep up? Because obviously it shouldn't have to work too hard because this is a GameCube game, but it is a GameCube game that has been remastered because this looks delightfully so much better than what the original on GameCube.
So the trigger button can shoot, and the top shoulder button will fire your missiles, and Y button will turn you into a morph ball.
Okay, so we're already there.
Yeah, I've got bombs as well. So
Yeah. See all of these little things, right? Yeah. Remaster, not remake. And you're right. Looks incredible.
I think the only thing they've done gameplay-wise to change it up is I've changed the controls a little bit. But as far as the game goes, I'm pretty sure it's a very accurate remake.
And the bosses were good. The bosses were good bosses.
It's
Like enjoyable bosses to fight.
It's very much more a puzzle game, and that's why, like I said earlier, that I think that younger me didn't want that out of my shooter game, my pew pew game. I wanted to be able to find, I wanted just to shoot the things.
See what you're seeing right now, we've just come out into an open area. There's a totem in the middle, there's a heap of stones around, they're starting to glow. This is the stuff that really blew me away as a kid. That got me really excited because I was looking at this stuff going, oh my god, these are new lands, this is exciting. What is it that I'm looking at here? This is history. What do I do? All that sort of stuff.
So if you want to bring up your visor as well, hit right on the D-pad.
Here we go.
So for on this, I'm trying to remember. Sorry, which button do you press? I think it's A.
We'll figure it out. Why? No. So I've got the visor up and
maybe it's
I'm
the
looking
trigger.
to scan. No, there it is. Okay, so it's left trigger.
Okay.
Translating Chozo runes on totem service.
So if you hold down while still scanning, you can press A and it'll actually go through what it all says. But for those playing along at home, so I've cleared out the first, well, I've done the little tutorial bit and I've done the first area, I've killed the first boss. And so that's when this bit opens up and you find that there's something hidden beneath the surface that the space pirates are trying to free. And the Chozo, who are the people that gave Samus her suit, have locked it away, and they're trying to work out how to protect it. And there's this prophecy that an armored somebody will come and save the day. So, surprise, we're here.
We're here.
Yeah.
You were the Chozo one.
Exactly.
It's a Star Wars joke, guys. It's a Star Wars joke.
But it's.
Is there anything up here? There's nothing up here.
You can also hit the plus button and bring up the full map, and so you can scan through where you
All right, let's see where I
want to go. I will say there's.
So it looks like I need to go here. this is where I want to go. So if I progress down through here and then go left, up all the way.
So
to
that
the end.
that big area is the big open area where your ship is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go back. I mean, the other thing that I remember about this game is just how big it was, or at least how big it felt for its time. You know, you look at that, Chozo Ruins, there's all of those. We're in one hexagon of that map that you just saw on the screen, and there are a shit ton of hexagons, and that makes up one sort of area, and then there's a heap of those areas.
Oh yeah. So the driving force of this game is you need to get 12 artifacts. So I've gotten one so far. So there's a heap more other areas to open up, and I've only opened up 2. That's what those different coloured hexagonal areas. Oh, one thing that I really liked: hold down your charge button, because if you charge, it draws the power ups to you.
Yes, it does.
That was really, really cool. I did like that.
See, and they come.
Yeah.
There it is. All charged up. All right, so we're gonna go left here. So we're at Samus's ship in the open area. We're gonna go left here.
Yeah.
I'm feeling something. Feeling something rock.
So White Monkey says, speaking of first boss, anyone played Wolong? Apparently the first boss is ridiculous. It'd take a couple hours to defeat. Just what you have said there have made me not want to play that game.
Should we play Wolong? We should play Wolong next week.
You can. I'm quite happily not do that.
Why not?
Because, like, okay, there are certain games that I will play and happily bash my head against. Like, I've played my fair share of Super Mario World ROM hacks, which I would get ridiculously hard and sit there trying to do the same thing over and over again to get past a certain area, a certain trick. But the idea, stuff like Souls-like games, where that's the reason I gave up on Tunic in the end, because just the boss was just so hard for me, and I just went, you know what, I cannot be bothered spending my time doing this.
I've frothed Souls games. I just absolutely froth them. I love the challenge. I don't feel like I get enough of a challenge out of games anymore. That's why I like bullet hells. So this is what I mean about this game, right? So I'm just going to quickly go back to us playing this game, Metroid Prime Remastered. And this is what I love about this in particular, right? That it wasn't just a long game in terms of distance you could cover, but the height as well. You know, you're up on platforms, you're discovering new areas that are all over the place. It just felt like, particularly for its time, which was early double O's, it just felt like it kept going and going and going and going.
There is a targeting system in here as well. I think it's left trigger and it will lock on. Or you can just eyeball it.
Just eyeball it. Just eyeball it, guys.
Who needs that?
Have we killed that thing yet? We killed it. Okay.
And I do love, like,
Alright, so
no, that takes rockets. So
missiles.
you can get in there.
I can?
Yes.
I do have rockets. All right,
Yes.
so right shoulder.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
But I've come to appreciate that about the Metroid games, and like with Castlevania, it's formed a whole genre of Metroidvania games, and I do absolutely love that feeling of exploring and working out. Oh, you can't get there. That's okay. Let's go back, and then you get something, and all of a sudden, you can get there. And just that exploration and the getting of the new weapons and new abilities, it just absolutely blows my mind, and I just love it so much.
Shit, 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 shit. Shit, shit, shit. Shit, 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 shit.
So
Drop the bombs. Drop the
those
bombs.
playing along at home,
Shit, shit, shit.
Pete has decided to forego his arm blaster and is using morph ball bombs to kill some enemies.
I just want a morph ball. I want to morph ball everything. I'm morph balling it. This is how I want to live my life. Just in a ball.
You know that. So, Metroid Dread was my first Metroid game, and I love that one. And I've seen a few speed runs.
Metroid Dread was your first.
Yeah.
Good night, Drifter.
But what was fun. Like I've watched speed runs and stuff like that, and they get those tricks where, with the morph ball, you lay a bomb, wait a bit, lay another bomb. The first bomb will launch you in the air, and you can lay a bomb in the air, and then the second bomb will launch you up, and then the third bomb will explode and send you even higher. I actually used that trick to get into an area. I'm not sure if I was supposed to get in there or if it wanted me to do that, but yeah, I did it and I felt really good with myself because to me that was a speedrunning trick.
Yeah, but that was like that was classic Metroid Dread, right? Like there was shit happening in Metroid Dread where it didn't even feel like it should be a secret area. And it turned into a secret area.
Yeah.
And the best part I found about Metroid Dread was when you completed the game and when you went through and you started doing the really difficult tiered secrets where you had to just time your shit so incredibly well. Now this here.
Maybe you should try scanning that.
Maybe I should try scanning that. That is a great idea. I'm scanning it. Access to Magma Caverns. Easter egg, please step into the hologram.
Mickey W says, Super Metroid is peak Metroid. No arguments accepted. Thank you.
Hey, what's up, Mickey Dub? Yeah, peak Metroid for its time. I can't agree with you, Mickey Dub, and we love a good conversation. We love good chat and discussion and discourse here at Game Australia, so it is okay to disagree. Yeah, I can't exactly agree with that. I think Super Metroid was peak Metroid for its time. I just feel like we've had so many better Metroids since. Metroids that have taken advantage of really exploring Metroid, Metroidvania, the use of Samus's weaponry, giving Samus extra weapons, creating puzzles built around those weapons. Yeah, fuck, shit. Shit, fuck.
Yeah, those things.
Fuck, shit,
those
fuck.
things hurt, Pete.
Although you've also said no arguments accepted, so fair enough. Kill it with fire. Yes.
I think it is fire. I think it likes fire.
It likes fire. Dorina likes fire. That dragon thing that we just shot. God, the fire dropping down from the ceiling to block your way is a classic game thing, isn't it? It really is.
Oh yeah.
Makes you feel right at home.
Oh,
here we go.
Oh, the dragon's back.
That's what she said.
You know, it's funny because Metroid being the exploratory game it was, it is possible to miss things. And when I was playing it last night, or over the weekend, I got to the first boss, and I'm sitting there. It's like this plant boss. It's got mirrors that shine on it. You got to shoot the mirrors out of the way, and that was great. Except I'd missed getting the beam charge.
Oh
so
yeah.
So I'm sitting there trying to like button mash and get these mirrors down. And I go, okay, and it got to 3 and I think I died. And I'm going, there are 4 mirrors around there. I don't know how I'm going to get 4 mirrors. And then I went away and explored a bit and went, oh, I've got a charge beam now. And you can just get rid of the mirrors in one shot.
I've got a charge beam now. So now I know from having played this game, some things are coming back to me. See those there? Those are hooks. So eventually you get your beam. You get your hook beam, right? But you don't know that at the time when you're playing this game for the first time, and so you fuck around a little bit and you find out. And then you find out that, oh, hang on a sec, I'm gonna go here.
So Mickey W's come back and said, I played Super Metroid first in 2019, and then Prime in 2021, and Dread in 22. And Super is the best, it transcends age.
Yeah, okay. Fuck, shit, fuck. Let's try that again, guys.
Hopefully with less fucks. Less fucks given, please.
Less fucks given?
Yep.
Just a few?
Yep.
Okay. So, in that case, Mickey Dub, I feel differently, but I accept your argument on the pretense that you have done your homework. And I like that.
I agree with you, White Monkey. I do not think lava is good for you.
I don't know that. Have you ever tried lava?
Well, I have seen what lava does to things that are not me.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine that if I was those things that lava was doing things to, that bad things would happen.
I just got a missile expansion.
Hey, hey.
My capacity's increased. Oh, fuck shit.
No, it's okay. I reckon you could go down there and fall off that ledge, and they just... What
No, fuck off.
the hell was that?
I don't know, but I wanted to eat me. Can I kill it? I don't think I can
No, I
kill
don't
it.
think you can kill it either.
Oh, I reckon I know how to kill it. Watch. Let it grab me. Yeah. Hey.
Oh, you make it
there we
eat the
go. So you
bombs.
turn it into your ball, your morph ball, and then you make it eat you.
You were just so
And then-
happy that
and
you
then-
can kill something like that after trying to kill those enemies before.
Certainly bloody can. So I'm just going to shoot these boxes over here. I'm going to pick up some of this material. There's a cave down that way, but there's also a hole here. So I'm going to morph ball it, and I'm going to use my bombs to kick up into that hole, and then we're just going to go on this path. And again, this is what I fucking frothed about this game, because there were so many of these crazy little tunnels and shit, and all it did was put me back to square one. You motherfucker.
Mickey Dubs, we are in a place that's even better than Melbourne or Sydney, and that is
Oh,
Perth.
don't say that.
I would
he
say
might,
it.
but he might be Melbourne or Sydney.
And, I mean...
I want him to hang around and buy a Patreon.
Well, I was about to say, you know, I can't hide him from the truth, you know.
Yeah, no,
It's just-
okay, fair enough. Yeah, Mickey Dubs, we're Perth-based, baby. We're coming to you from Western Australia. All right, so I'm going to go that way and not going to go that way. What are we looking at? What's the time call?
It is 10 to 8.
I'm enjoying this so much.
I know. I had that problem. It was Monday night I played it. So in WA we had a public holiday on Monday. And it got to maybe about 7 or 8 and I went, I really should have an early night, but I kind of want to play it. So I thought I'd play it for about an hour and whatnot. And I just kept playing and playing, and it got later and later. And when I really should have gone to bed, I was still playing video games.
Yeah, so what?
The struggle was real on Tuesday.
Shit, I'm going to get cooked. There it is.
Oh no.
Bzz. Continue from last save.
I think that the last save's all the way back in.
How's White Monkey? WA is barely better than Tasmania.
If you weren't a Patreon, mate.
I'm going to put the controller down. But that is a cracking remaster.
It really is. Thank you to Aussie Broadband for our bloody good game of the week,
Yes.
which is Metroid Prime.
It is a cracking remaster because it gives me everything. It gives me everything as a fan, as a guy who played this game just so much as a kid. And it doesn't detract from any of that. All it does is give me a 2023 version of it, and I'm so fucking happy about that. That's great. Mickey W says, Perth's even better. I approve of their dig a big hole in the ground and become a millionaire way of life. Dig a big hole in the ground. Yep.
If only that was us.
That's the thing, man. You see, here in WA, it's only a certain few people who get to dig giant holes in the ground and become incredibly rich, unfortunately. The rest of us have to try and dig our way through Twitch.
However, if Gina Reinhardt or Twiggy Forrest is watching this, we'll quite happily take sponsorships.
What we should do is we should make a top tier Patreon that's worth $1 million, and it's only Gina or Twiggy tier.
Mining magnate tier.
Yeah, mining magnate tier. If you're a mining magnate, then you get to purchase this tier and that's it. $1 million, imagine that. Imagine having $1 million Patreon.
Oh my God.
And somebody was like, here you go, have that. It'd be pretty good. Mate, should we wrap it up?
I think so. I think that's been a really good night. Had some good fun. I've been very glad to see Metroid Prime some more. I'm just, like I say, it's just so much fun.
Yep.
It's so good. Thank you so much to our lovely Patreons.
Yes, so that's Star. If you are a Patreon, you become part of our live studio audience. So that's Star. That'll flick through, but I can get through them faster. Drifter. Oh, there we go. Right on time. Drifter, thank you. We've also got
Firestorm.
Thank
White
you,
Monkey.
Firestorm, White Monkey, and now Simi and Gamma as well. So half a
Exactly.
dozen Patreons, mate, in a week's pretty bloody
pretty
good. That's a
bloody good.
Patreon a day.
And all in a draw for the monthly prize,
Yes.
which this month is...
Is the Elite Trainer Box, the Crown Zenith Elite Trainer Box, if you don't mind. It features 10 Pokemon TCG Crown Zenith booster packs, 1 etched foil promo card featuring Lucario V-Star, 65 card sleeves featuring Lucario, 45 Pokemon TCG energy cards, a player's guide to the Crown Zenith expansion, 6 damage counter dice, 1 competition legal coin flip die, 2 acrylic condition markers, 1 acrylic V-Star marker, a collection box to hold everything, with 4 dividers to keep it organised and a code card for Pokemon Trading Card Game Live. And it could be yours if you are a Patreon. Every month we will have a brand new giveaway. This is for the month of March.
Exclamation mark support in chat if you would like to get that link if you're in Twitch chat right now. But I think that's it for us for tonight.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us. Have yourself a great weekend in games. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do it because it just feels... It was just almost sort of naturally coming on. Have a great weekend in gaming. And as we always say...
Game on!
Don't forget to say.
Oh, don't forget to save. Wrong one. I knew it was there.
That's okay. It was one of those. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. It's a little bit rusty, right? Yes. No, it's fine. We'll get better at it. We'll get better at it. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.